All right, good afternoon, Speed Gaming. Or for some of you, it's probably still morning, and maybe those in Europe in the evening. Welcome to the Link to the Past Season 3 League in the Invitational Division. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Ben Creighton. How you doing, Ben?
Doing just fine. Good local time to you as well. We've got a couple of top-tier runners here doing just straight-ahead vanilla Open 7-7 here in Week 2 of the ALTTPR League. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I believe this is this the first match of Week 2? I believe it is.
You know, I think you might be right.
But yeah, we do have Oase here, trying to keep a perfect record. He went 2-0 last week, pairing up with Trinex and Scary Olive. In the co-op, Dracarys looking for his first win. He co-opted with Allison, and they lost that race. But the Never Do Chicken is 1-1 because their teammate Wolfie teamed with Allison to get a win there. Let me see arrows to start out. Was that the single arrow even? Oase gonna go over to Uncle. Dracarys gonna go ahead and reset to Sanctuary.
And right away, it is so nice to only have 2 screens to look at this week.
I know, right? And especially with co-op, it's pretty rare that you have all 4 runners doing the same thing because you want to split things up. Here, you know, we might see different things, but it's still just the 2 of them.
And it looks like we've got a vanilla fighter sword on Uncle today, so Oase going to have an early advantage in stopping power.
Yeah, and I think he'll do the escape with that sword. ₹50, not really doing much for us. And we'll get a lumberjack check from Dracarys here.
Oh, and that's another sword on lumberjack.
Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. You're not going to go get that unless you have to kill Aga for Dark Gold Axis. So you're automatically down to a possible tempered sword. Not going to get gold sword. Not that they need gold sword, but you know, finding that tempered sword becomes a little more difficult. So we might see some Master Sword Ganons today.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, Dracarys hates to see it. Personally, I love to see it because if I'm tuning in to see some top tier Link to the Past with some very skilled runners, I want to see a little bit of a challenge here.
Yeah,
and a fire rod there and escape.
Wow, this escape play. Oh, we do see a lamp sitting here in the woods, so fire not going to be an issue today. Although it could be a while before Dracarys actually gets to the escape. But that does, with that lamp and... No, wait, we still need another actual sword. So another actual sword or a cape would then put Aga and Logic between the 2 of them. Doing the classic mistake of, I see an item, I think we have it. And a bomb host! So if Ice Palace is a thing, then escape 100% required.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a stacked escape sequence here. Let's see if we can get a Stackerico on top of it as Dracarys heads into Blind's Hut.
Nice to have that fire rod for this fight. Just one-shot the ball and chain guard. Just bombs, though. And not going to check Dark Cross. I kind of like that call. You know, it could still be the key or the map. Ideally, you check the back first and then go from there if you want to get the actual item there. We did see some flippers there on Dracarys' side, though.
Yes, indeed. And that Dark Cross, even on Oase's side, is in logic with the fire rod, so... But I agree, I like the play. Unless it turns out to be glove or something crazy like that. That's a check better put off until a more convenient time.
Yeah, the fire rod does put in logic. It's still not an easy torch to light. He's only got this tiny little bit of magic. I would, if he'd already done the back and you know it's an item, that's a different story. Then you just do it. And we see a cape in the well. So now between the runners, we have Aga access and some blue mail for some safety. just bombs on the bottle vendor. But with only one, it's actually not a terrible thing to pick up. Bossy, on the other hand, has a healthy 6 bombs for Kakariko. And with that sword, that sword gives him a bit of an advantage when he goes when they go over to the South Shore. He only needs the 1 bomb for the mini Moldorm cave. He won't have to waste a bunch of bombs trying to kill the Moldorm, so that additional advantage there.
Yep, although Dracarys finds 3 more bombs in the back of the well, so he should be
6
okay.
Should be yeah, 6 should be plenty.
Not enough that you can afford to waste any, but enough so that you don't have to avoid that area.
Exactly. Also, always hate to get those flippers when you have no money. Like, yeah, go to Zora, but you can't afford it. Okay, we're gonna see that race.
You're hoping for a very rich hobo, and yeah, just $20 on race game.
Yeah, you're not going after that. And we'll see what Dracarys says to next. Probably South Shore. That's pretty standard. I don't feel like he got any items to take him away from that route.
Well, apparently he feels differently, or maybe he's just checking the, yeah, it looks like he's just checking the island.
Well, he does have those flippers. He may be going straight for Hobo. And there's a nice teasing 300 rupees that by the time we can get him won't matter. The thing I don't like about this choice to go straight to the Hobo here is it's kind of an end play. You're going to save and quit out of this instead of, you know, if you do the South Shore checks into the Hobo, then you can just save and quit at the end of a nice string. He does get 300 rupees, though. Still not enough for Zora. He's going to just jump back in and swim over towards the South Shore, it looks like. Swimming is slow.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unconventional play. You're getting the same 2 checks between here and Mini Moldorm that you would if you did the more standard play down past the dam. And you're also spending a bomb getting into Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, I feel like taking that chance of, getting yourself down to 5 bombs for Mini Moldorm. Whereas if you end up skipping Ice Rod Cave because you run out of bombs, it's just 1 check versus 5.
True, and an easy enough check to get back to if you find the flute later is the other thing.
Oase just going to blind check the race game. We do see a bottle at Ice Rod Cave. That might be significant. Most likely not. There are 3 other bottles, and who knows if that sick kid has anything for us.
And Oase committing to skipping that Moldorm Cave for the moment. Looks like he might be buying some bombs here.
Yeah, you hate to spend that 50 rupees to buy bombs when you have 5 of them. So yeah, I don't really like the bomb management here. Like, I think with 6 you just go do Mini Moldorm Cave. 5 is a little bit more dicey, but still enough. I like to get it down to like 2 or 3 before I start entertaining buying bombs before going over. And we are going to see our first dam check. Oase being a little unconventional, going to do the flooded item first.
And Drac opting to skip dam for the moment, maybe planning to pass that way and get an early Agina check.
Yeah, could have gotten him extra bombs. That's kind of a shame. But he does get through just fine with the ones he had. But yeah, if he'd gone to the dam, he would have gotten 3 more bombs, and he would have been perfectly fine. Would not have had to buy any. And we're already on red mail. Not even 10 minutes in.
Yep, and I believe I saw a blue potion in there as well. So even with only 4 hearts, our runners are quite stacked for tankiness.
Yeah, those free potions are really nice. Especially early on when you don't have a flute to go over to the to the magic shop easily.
And being a blue potion, it's especially nice for Dracarys, who... Oh, well, I was about to say he doesn't have a sword yet, but he doesn't have his fire rod yet either, so it really doesn't make much of a difference.
Yeah, he's not going to be using that lamp for any magic right away, so...
Meanwhile, Oase about to get those $300 from the hobo. That puts him in spitting distance of Zora money. Just 2 big 20 drops would do it for him.
Yeah, it gets him pretty close. Tantalizingly close, really. And unfortunately, without a glove. Like, if they had the glove, I would just pick up the rock behind Ice Rod Cave and just go up to 500. But no glove, can't do that. We are going to see the Agena check from Dracarys here. And more bombs. Dracarys buying all the bombs he could need after buying them. That's always feels bad. So where are we going next? Looks like Eastern.
And it looks like I must have blinked and missed the map check, but it looks like Eastern is a crystal along with Tower of Hera, Desert being a pendant today.
And let's see what Saha has for us. A book. A book when it's Pendant Desert. It's always fun. So there could be progression in the desert area. We don't have boots yet, so desert could be boots locked. It could be on the ledge there. And Dracarys going to keep on going over to Eastern Palace.
Meanwhile, Oase giving us our first look into the fairy fountain with an ether medallion.
But not enough money to do Zora. He'll at least check the ledge here. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get Zora's item unless the... He's trying! Oh, he gets a 20!
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, he could farm eventually. That's going to cycle back to the big 20, I suppose.
Yeah, that'd be,
That would be slow.
Yeah.
Oh, and we do see a sword in Eastern Palace for Dracarys, so his Aga is now in logic. Yeah, Oase looked like he was going to really try for the extra 20 to get the Zora check, but he's given up. I didn't actually see what was on the ledge, though.
Just a piece of heart.
Yeah, it's not going to help. Definitely not something you're going that far out of the way for. One thing that either runner could do in Eastern, there is the rupee room. I believe it's like 90 rupees. That will get them up. Will get your cars close to Zora money. It would put Oase way above. And you can get to that without the bow, so... We'll see if either one chooses to go in there. Alright, and there's like I think there's a 50 in here, so Oase now will get his money.
Yep, although with Zora being orphaned at this point, not likely to go back to that one until either forced to or potentially routed in with Catfish.
Yeah, ideally you want to, yeah. I mean, he's already got flippers, so, you know, mirror... Actually, it doesn't even matter for Zora. He's already... You just want to get it. You don't want to have to go just for that location. And Oase will have the advantage of he'll get his master sword. Dracarys, if he heads over towards the escape, he'll get his master sword as well. And they're gonna probably be gated that way unless we see. I mean, a glove would put them out in logic, but we see a compass. It looks like there's an item left on the Armos Knights that we're not gonna be able to get right now. So I think if you're Dracarys, you just got to go to escape. And for him, I probably just full clear, because you have that lamp and you're going to be able to get to the... Well, you might not be able to get to the back, but there's a good chance that that key is sitting there in the dark cross chest, and then you can just go all the way to the back.
Yep, the question is, if it comes up dry for him, what's your play at that point? Do you suck it up and do Aga right now, or do you hit up Desert Palace first?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I might just do this seed is pointing Aga. We don't have a glove or a hammer. Now, if that dark cross item is a glove or a hammer, then maybe I rethink. But you need 2 items for a regular dark world access, not 1. The unfortunate thing is when you get to the dark world, depending on what's sitting there on that ledge, there really isn't much you can do but go into a bolus pod. So that also might be something to take into account.
Yeah, and that's best case scenario where the pyramid ledge item is the moon pearl.
Oh yeah, there's that too. Yeah, need that moon pearl. So we have none of the elements of... So yeah, I might change my mind there. Yeah, just go ahead and... I might have actually even, in Dracarys' case, I might have even just gone and done desert already. Him having already done the Aegina check, unfortunately, makes that a little less appealing. But, those early books for desert tend to be pretty conspicuous.
Yeah, the only thing that would have me doing an Aga play in Dracarys' place is just thinking, I'm already here, there are only, 3 items in desert, considering that he hasn't checked desert ledge, I don't believe.
Yep. I didn't see him check the desert ledge. So potentially 3 items. But desert's so tricky because it's, it could just be boots locked. You could just have nothing in there and the items on the ledge. It's the only one you're guaranteed to be able to get.
Yeah.
And you see Oase is just going to go over to desert right now. I don't think he's done the Aegina check, so this makes a lot of sense for him.
Yeah, from his perspective, it's 4 items over here versus 1 through Aga.
Well, and possibly Dark Cross as well. Which could lead to escape, because, yeah, he didn't do that yet.
Yeah, that's fair. Looks like that is what Dracarys is heading towards.
Yeah, absolutely no reason for Dracarys to not check this. He's got that lamp fully in logic. He can get all the way to the back if the key is here. And we'll get a check at that desert ledge right now.
There's that moon pearl.
Yep. So I'm still calling this an Aga seed until proven otherwise. But that's going to be unfortunate for Dracarys. If he decides to do Aga right away, he's going to have to he'll get that item on the ledge and he'll still have to reset. And it's just arrows, so we don't even get to see what's in the back.
Looks like Dracarys is going for the Aga play.
Yeah, he'll be hoping for that moon pearl, but I think for him it's going to be the right call. Either way, he's going to lose time, whether he goes and gets that moon pearl first. Because again, we still need 2 items. We still need both the hammer and the glove. We don't see either one of those. Probably one of them sitting there in the first chest of pod or something. And we are not boots locked at all. So this is actually no, this is not full completable because we don't have the glove, but we can get everything but the item on Landmo.
Yep, and that item on Torch was a heart container, which does mean that there is only one other item to be found in here.
Yeah, now if you're Oase, do you even go back and look on the right side, or you just grab your Moon Pearl and go?
I think given that it's a pendant desert, I think there's an argument for getting it. If it was a crystal and you know you have to come back here anyway...
That's fair. We'll see what he decides to do. No, he's going to go back in. I mean, there's going to be at least one item. No, there could be no items over there because the item could be on Landmo. But if this is your hammer, your glove, or even better, like a hook shot or a bow, that would be a big swing, because then you'll have more options when you get into the Dark World.
Yeah, knowing just how few checks that Moon Pearl actually opens up with this particular setup, you're doing Aga, you're going straight to Pod, which might be bow-locked anyway. I like Oase's play here. When you have this few checks left to do, it pays to be extra thorough. I mean, statistically it pays.
It's
not today, but...
Sure didn't pay off today. So, first chest Pod or the Pyramid Ledge looking good right now.
Yeah, it's that or Zora at this point. Unless we have a non-bow-locked Pod, in which case that opens up 2 more potential locations, although front of Pod is dicey.
Yeah, Pod is always that weird dungeon where if the keys are laid out correctly, you can clear everything but the actual bow-locked portion and finishing it off. Or you might open that first chest and it's a map and you can't do anything. Although I don't think it's going to be a map here unless we get something really nice on the ledge.
And of course, complicating the equation a little bit is that we know both of our runners do have potions for an easy potion glitch and a sequence break in the beginning of Pod, even if it is bow-locked.
Yeah, I think you do that here. For one thing, with the progressive bows, you see a lot more bow-locked bows in this game now than I would have ever expected when they made that change. But also, again, depending on what items you get, just clearing that area, it's still 5 items. And we do see Dracarys in the Aga fight. Yeah, I have not been counting the blue ball, so we'll let chat do that for us.
Looks like Oase's following him into the Aga play, considering it's that or Zora at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a glove on Zora, that opens enough stuff up that it could still not be an Aga play, but God, that's such a out of the way location at this point.
Yeah, and with the flippers as early as they were, you gotta figure it is not unlikely that your opponent did more or less what you did and orphaned that for last after getting the other flipper checks early. Looks like we've got a green pendant ice palace and a pendant swamp here today.
And boots. Well, they can go get the sword now. Yes, so much for difficult swords. I would definitely go ahead and pick that up when I can route it in. In fact, I bet you Kraus will go get it right now and check Bonk Rocks at the same time. But then he'll have to go over to Desert to get his Moon Pearl. I don't recall. I'm not sure Oase actually checked the lumberjack location, but he'll check that too, probably at the same time as Bonk Rocks. So we should all be on Tempered Sword pretty soon. But in Oase's case, I don't think you check that right away. I think you just follow those boots into Pod and see what you get. All right, Dracarys, where are we headed next?
Oh, we're getting a ped check.
Oh, wow. Yeah, why not? Might as well check it before you head into Desert Palace. Chat, get excited. A ped check and an aga play at the same time. You don't see that every day. And it's just arrows. So ped is dead.
Yeah, with a pendant ice palace, it wasn't likely that ped was going to be anything important. Can't be a glove, can't be a hammer.
I think we're going to get the sick kid check here, too.
Oh, that's true. I'd forgotten about that, but that's been in play for a while. Yo, dog, I heard you like bottles.
Wow. We didn't even need to go. Like, he had his bottle. He was already cured, you know?
He had a bottle with a fairy in it. He could have been out playing with his friends. I think Dunca's got the right idea. He is the lazy kid after all. He's just looking for an excuse to stay home.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like Dracarys has the right idea. Especially with boots now, he knows that even if the progression's on that torch, in fact, he's hoping to see progression on the torch. He's about to be disappointed, though.
Well, he can get an extra heart container. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, that's definitely not what he's looking for. He might still skip it, you know, those few extra seconds to pick it up. Lots of heart containers in the seed, no doubt.
Yeah, and with red mail already, his effective health is pretty high, excepting certain traps like spikes that ignore armor.
Yep. And no surprise that Oase going straight into pod.
Well, with no...
There's no other... I mean, his only other choices is going back to Zora and checking Sick Kid.
Yeah.
Or doing the, bonk rocks and the lumberjack. But, those are so far out of the way at this point. You're right here.
Catfish not going to be in logic for a while with no glove, no hammer.
Yeah, can't even get over there yet. So are we going to get the item here, or are we going to have to search? Nope, we are not immediately bow locked. And it looks like Dracarys also going to check the right side of desert for his map and compass. A little unfortunate he doesn't gain that time back, but yeah, I don't blame him for checking these.
And there's our glove.
And no, he's going to go for the hover. This is one of the, if not the most difficult hovers in the game. And I say that by listening to other people talk, because I by no means can hover of any kind.
I'm in the same boat, but my understanding is that changing direction mid-hover is what makes this challenging.
Yeah.
Oase gives it a couple tries and then says, nope, not worth it to spend the time for something that's out of logic anyway.
Yeah, especially since you've got that free red potion. Just use that for the potion glitch. And with that glove, we will be able to get to Catfish after this dungeon is done. Yeah, use the red one. I mean, if all you have is blue, that's one thing. But yeah, you don't want to waste that blue potion on this glitch. There we go. Get those mimics all off screen so the game thinks that they're dead. Opens that door.
We've got a shield, and there can only be 2 non-small key items in the front here, so that we know that was all we were going to get.
Yep, we can skip the big key chest, which is nice because that's just a key to a key. No hammer though. He was good with Death Warp, but I think with red mail you want to do it off the spike. I fully expect Dracarys to do all the same things. We'll see if anything's out in the back here of Pod.
I've still got Zora in the back of my mind. This is both of our runners' chance to top up on rupees and make sure that that stays an option for the future.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they found a mirror in here. Yeah, and unfortunately, Oase taking that line and not getting any of those rupees. But really not going to likely see the Zora check right now unless... Oh, yeah, we're not going to see it. We got a hook shot.
Oh yeah, between the glove and hook shot, that puts Eastside Death Mountain into play. That makes that mountain play very attractive.
And I do believe with the way the key layout is, they could have gotten to the back here without even touching the right side. So all this is in logic.
I'm fairly sure you're correct. The algorithm always has to keep 1 key in reserve for the boss. And there's the powder. And Oase is going to peace out for the moment as Dracarys takes a death warp. Or attempts to. He had that fairy in his back pocket.
Oops. Yeah, that's never a good thing. I tell you, it is more common for me to take that fairy and have it screw up a death warp than it actually saved me. And Oase decides to go ahead and do his boots checks here before heading over to the rest of the Dark World. Which, I mean, walking out of Pod is slow anyway, so this seems like a pretty nice, efficient way of doing things. And he'll get that tempered sword.
We're still looking for a hammer or a second glove for full Dark World access.
I mean, we actually have pretty good Dark World access right now in terms of actually being able to get everywhere, but Misery Mire and Dark Death Mountain. It's just not good in the sense of you have to enter in one specific place and it'll take you forever to get to some of the other places.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely like the play of checking Death Mountain first. And it looks like Dracarys being extra careful to pick up all those rupees.
Yeah, the exact opposite. I kind of like the in-between. Just take a line and run through the rupees and get those, and that gets you enough for Zora. And Dracarys gets his hook shot. And the old man just with some arrows, but we do now have that nice save quit spot in the mountain. And hookshot always good for the nice hookshot speed.
And there's our final sword up on Spectacle Ledge, not obtainable quite yet without the mirror.
Yeah, depending on when the runners do Hera. I mean, I think if you have a situation where you get that mirror and that's how you're going to get to Hera, I think you just pick it up, but I don't think you go out of your way to grab it otherwise. It's definitely slower to go this way if you find it, if there's no hammer here. You're not going to be able to do Hera right now, so.
Absolutely, and by the time you get back that way before doing GT, you've got so little game left that, yeah.
Now, on the other hand, we might not see a mirror in this seed because Swamp is a pendant. Oh, and Dracarys going to do the back of Escape now that he's got that glove. And a whole lot of garbage, because that last chest that he didn't open up is the small key. And good heads-up play to realize that and not waste time opening up the last chest there.
Just a bloomerang there in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, East Death Mountain really not paying out for us right now. We got one more check over in Spiral Cave, and we can at least peek the floating island.
Meanwhile, Dracarys making that Zora play that's been living rent-free in the back of my mind. I didn't realize he hadn't done the flipper checks either, so this is
No, he hadn't done any of them.
Yeah, this is a more efficient play for him. And there's a bow on the floating island.
Wow. Still, ironically enough, with progressive bows, that still doesn't guarantee us a mirror.
No, it does not. And that's
that
that's
might
rough
not
to
be
see,
the bow
though.
that they pick up. Oh, it really is.
Knowing that you are 2 items away, the mirror and the Titan's mitts, from being able to collect it. That is...
I'm sorry for 300 rupees. Oh, well. I mean, I guess that's still a life lesson because you're down 200.
Looks like Oase might be heading towards Catfish at this point, which I think is just about all we have left.
Well, he's got that hook shot to get over to the west side of the Dark World, so he might not
that's
do.
true. That's true.
He might not do. I don't see him doing Catfish right now because he probably wants to save that to pair with Zora. Dracarys going to go.
That's true. I keep forgetting that hook shot.
Yeah, Dracarys going to do the East Death Mountain checks, and I don't believe we saw anything there. So, unfortunately for Dracarys, this is not going to pay out. Yep, Oase just going to skip Catfish for now, and make his way over to the
play.
Make his way over to the west. We can do Thieves Town right now. You can do Skull Woods right now. So two crystal dungeons that fully completable. Sorry, 1 crystal dungeon fully completable. 1 crystal dungeon with that pesky big chest that may or may not have something in it. So I think Skullwoods, I like that he looks like he's going Skullwoods first. I like that choice. Gives you extra time to get that hammer before making a commitment into Thieves Town.
Absolutely, and with Tempered Sword, that moth fight should not be a problem even for as low hearts as we have right now.
Yeah, especially not for these guys. I also like that Oase's going ahead and just doing the back first with that Tempered Sword. He's going to do the middle here. He can, he can grab a couple keys so that when he gets back to the front, he'll be able to open up all the doors easily.
Absolutely. It's also very handy to know how many, if any, of our 2 Skullwoods item checks are in the back here, because those front side checks can be a little time consuming.
Oh, I did see we got I guess it was Quake over there in the bottom of Paradox, which, might be a thing. We have both Turtle Rock and Misery Mire are going to be required, so that Quake might actually matter. But that's all we're getting in East Death Mountain, so definitely not the East Death Mountain either one of these guys is looking for. And I like that Oase does. I mean, you'd think maybe he wouldn't kill the Gibdo there, but having that extra key just is going to make the front check so much easier. So now he doesn't have to worry about, you know, dropping down the hole to get the items.
Oase taking a death. I believe he still has a... No,
No, he never...
wrong.
No, he doesn't have the fairy because he hasn't done the sick kid check.
That's right. He's got the blue goo and then the red goo that he spent on potion glitch.
Right. So he's going to want to farm up at least a little bit here. Or not. I mean, he can use his lamp here, so that's probably what he's going to do.
Unfortunately, those Gibdos being very obnoxious and insisting on a heart tax.
And he's going to go back in with 2.5 hearts.
I think you have to. When are you going to be back here?
Yeah, I would have done it. I would have taken the time to farm the star room a little bit, but yeah, I absolutely go back in.
And the moth goes down like a little punk this time.
That was a very nice Mothula. And we do get an item out of this. Looks like Dracarys finally coming to the conclusion that there's nothing else to do but go across the river here. Unless he decides to do catfish. Since he already did the Zora check, so he's not going to be able to pair this in better any other time. So I like this call from Dracarys. There's no way to make this more efficient. And just a map. So we are going to have to go to the front of Skullwoods.
Just bombs from the catfish.
And Oase will make his way to the front of Skullwoods where there's one more item.
And it's a heart container in that nice convenient chest right in the front. No need to muck about with the left side.
Yeah, not what we were looking for. We do see a bumper ledge check. Oh, I don't know if... Oase must have checked that. It's just 20 rupees on the bumper ledge, so... Not gonna go out of our way to pick that up. And we end up in Village Outcast proper. I do expect that Oase will go ahead and check all these locations again, hoping to find that hammer before he goes into Thieves Town. Instead finds a shovel.
Instead of shovel, which, let's get real, that's where the hammer is. We all know that now, right?
Sure could be. That shovel sure could lead to that hammer. Piece of heart. Got one more shot at it. I don't think he goes any further after this. At this point, you just bite the bullet and go into Thieves Town.
Absolutely. I don't know that there's much else you can get without going through the point of no return. And there's the hammer!
Oh, wow. There it is. So, Aga, 100% required. Of course, we already figured that out. I don't think there was any other checks at that point. And really happy he's got that hammer now, because anytime you see that small key early, you just worry about that big chest.
Absolutely, and that's why you always get those 3 Village of Outcast checks before going into Thieves Town if you don't have the hammer already.
Absolutely. Of course, one of the items in the front four has to be the big key, and there it is. And a piece of heart.
Dracarys finishing up their moth fight. Went in there a little more loaded than Oase was, so got it on the first try.
Yeah, he'll no doubt check the other locations, get his heart container.
Dracarys pulling out the cape in order to clip past the bumper and save himself just a little bit of time. I like it. It's plays like that that are made possible by Quick Swap, one of our fairly recent developments here.
Still nothing in Thieves Town to really write home about. Which is, you know, it's a Crystal Thieves Town, so that's not unusual. Only one item left, because I see on Oase's menu, no map or compass. We'll point out he is menuing. I don't know how he feels about Quick Swap, but he is an NMG runner. And I feel like the NMG runners maybe aren't quite as wanting to use Quick Swap as some of the randomizer only runners. Because, you know, in NMG, you really want to learn how to do those menus very efficiently. Still, optimally, Quick Swaps could be faster. And unfortunately for Dracarys, he took the route that's going to get him to the item last here.
Oase making that blind script look easy. Until I cursed him. But that's okay.
Yeah, we get through the first two rounds. The last round is not too bad. Dracarys gets his shovel. We are kind of in an interesting situation with that mirror. The mirror would make a lot of these checks a lot more efficient, but given that Swamp Palace is a pendant dungeon, not finding that mirror is not bad because it just keeps you out of there.
And I noticed Oase
skipping the dig game.
Opting to skip the dig game, yeah.
That is an interesting choice. You don't see that skip very often.
Yeah. And it is potentially one of the lengthier checks, but...
Yeah, I don't like the choice to skip that. It's a location you know your opponent's going to check, because, like, you know, who besides Oase skips the dig game? And if it's something, then you're not getting back to it anytime soon. Like, his routing has been really efficient so far, and I feel like that just, you know, cutting that, I don't think he needs to cut corners at this point.
Of course, we know he doesn't, because we can see that he's
I know.
about a dungeon ahead in this pretty linear race.
Yeah, and I mean, there are some runners that just always think they're behind and are always looking to cut those corners, and he just might be that type. We're starting to run out of places to go right now. Hera is a play we could do because we have that hammer. I'm going up the long way. I think we're headed towards Catfish, though.
Yeah, and I think that's, before committing to that Hera play, Of course, UI and Dracarys know that it's not going to pay off, but considering just how long it is to get to Hera the long way, especially when you've checked everything.
Yep.
Although with the book in tow, at least that tablet will be clearable. And with the cape and the hammer, that's Spike Cafe and logic.
So now, did Dracarys not go into the chess game? Because I do not see a hammer marked on his tracker.
I'm fairly sure I saw him go into the chess game.
Okay. That doesn't make any sense to not do that first here. And unfortunately, with Quick Swap, we don't get to see his menu. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
We're good. Yeah, we have quite a few interesting one-off checks right now, so I suspect we'll see the dig game from Dracarys when he gets out of Thieves Town. We do have a powder check that we can do with that hammer, and that might be where Oase's headed right now. He's going to do the shovel
like
first.
He's gonna...
Shovel into the magic bat. Kind of like that choice. Fortunately, shovel
I agree.
just for
I think it makes a lot of sense to be very thorough before committing to that second Death Mountain climb.
Now let's see what the bat has for us today.
Just a piece of
heart. Yep, not what we're looking for. So let's see. Oase has, at this point, I believe he's got Zora, Dig Game, and Hera. Oh, he's got Sick Kid. He's gonna do that real quick. Get all those fetch quests done together, except of course the mushrooms, since we don't have it yet. And he'll get his fairy in a bottle.
He considers a save and quit. I'm wondering if he remembered Dig Game. He does seem to be beelining the portal.
Yeah, maybe he just forgot the Dig Game.
I mean, it happens to the best of us. There is a lot that's going through your mind as you're running these seeds.
For sure. We're about to see the Dig Game on Dracarys this side. Either way, Dracarys is going to get a little bit of time back from this, whether there's something here or not.
Yep, and with such a linear seed between such excellent runners, you want every edge you can possibly get.
Absolutely.
Just a piece of heart today.
So Oase would have been smart to skip it, but you just can't know that. So I don't blame him for going back for this.
Yeah, I think the word you're looking for is lucky. Would have been lucky to skip it.
You're
Wouldn't
right.
have been the smart play.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, smart to skip it after he skipped it the first time, but lucky to have skipped it in the first place. Gonna get a lot of his money back, though. Okay, where are we? Okay, right for a moment there, I thought he was starting at the house, but no, he's starting at Death Mountain. So we are going to see the Hera play now. I mean, I believe between the runners, the only other thing left is there is an item on Landmo. Definitely not the play you want to make, because, you know, going in and prioritizing a pendant dungeon clear over a crystal dungeon clear, even if that crystal dungeon is a slow walk to get up to, I think it would be a mistake.
Oh, agreed. Especially when that pendant dungeon has only one item possible left in it. Whereas Hera, counting the tablet, you've got 3 potential items there, both item-wise and progression-wise. This is the obvious move.
Yeah, and you also have Spike Cave that you can do afterwards now that we have a glove and a hammer and they have the cape for protection.
Yeah, that's true. So that makes it 4. And there's our mirror.
Oh, baby. I still don't think they're picking up that gold sword, but now they could if they want to. That opens up a lot of checks. Unfortunately, when you don't have the mirror early, those checks are really annoying to get back to.
Absolutely. We got Cave 45 and Graveyard Ledge, both entirely orphaned.
And the Bombos tablet as well. And of course, Pendant Swamp, now in Logic.
Yeah, I think at this point, assuming no other progression in here, I think that swamp, that's 6 items.
Yeah, I think you do K45 and Bombos tablet first. I don't know that you do. Well, you could combine Graveyard Ledge with the King's Tomb. So I don't know. I don't know if you go straight to Swamp, but it's definitely going to be on their radar.
Yeah. I mean, Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, that's 2 checks. You get that before you even go into Swamp, when you go that direction.
Yep.
With K45 and Tablet.
And with the Tempered Sword, just a slash and a spin, and he's down. And I don't believe we saw 2 items. There's probably something in the basement. If there is, we're not going to see it.
Yep, not on Oase's side, anyway. That looks like he
Oh, he's
is
gonna
on
get
the
that
other
sword.
hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does want that sword. It's not too slow to pick it up. It's right there. It'll make your Trinex fight a little faster. It'll make your, well, it won't make your, ideally we won't touch Cold Stare, so it won't matter there. Does make the Ganon fight a little bit faster, but potentially, although at his level, he should be able to do a Tempered Sword Ganon fight as quickly as he can do a Gold Sword. Someone my level, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, I suppose this, I suppose unless Silver Arrows show their heads before Meyer, it can make a Boots and Cape Vitreous fight marginally faster.
Yeah, that's true, too.
And it's just a nice convenience item to have when you don't have to go too far out of your way for it. Looks like Dracarys will be showing us the basement.
I think we're going to see these mirror checks from Oase, at least the K45 and Bombos tab. We'll see if he chooses to go to Swamp first or if he decides to do those north checks. And we'll see if skipping the basement is going to bite him. It is not. Decides to grab. Yeah, I mean, it's a full heart container. And it turns out to be Sank Heart, too, so.
Hey, good. Meanwhile, Dracarys opting to skip that Butter Sword and go directly into Spike Cave. Happy with his Tempered.
Yeah, if he's not going to get it now, I don't see any time he's going to get it. And we are going to see the Swamp play from Oase right away, not even to do the Bombos check. I would have liked to see the Bombos check first. Like, it's right there, and it could keep you out of Swamp if it's something good. And you're not losing a ton of time checking it right now. I can certainly get behind waiting on Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, since those are so far out of the way at this point. And Dracarys hasn't done the shovel check or the bat check, so we should see that here. Unfortunately, not going to pay out for him. But if the answer is in Swamp Palace, that's going to give Oase a really big advantage. Now, if the answer is not in Swamp Palace and Dracarys can manage to stay out of Swamp Palace, then that would give Dracarys, put him right back into this race.
Meanwhile, Dracarys opting to forego that batter check for now, which...
Yeah, he might...
decided...
Yeah, he might save that for Smith Chain. Unfortunately, not going to get anything more than a heart container or K45.
And I'm sort of surprised to see the shovel check before K45 as opposed to going to the Dark World in the first place and using the mirror to route those two together.
Yeah, you see that a lot. He might not have been thinking about it, but yeah, I like that choice better. But I don't think it's going to make too big a difference. We'll see if he chooses to do Bombo's tablet first. He does not. So it's unfortunate for Dracarys right now following in Oase's footsteps. So even if the item is in Swamp Palace, then he's still
which it is.
behind.
There's the
and
Titans.
It is. Now, do you mirror out here right away? You're still missing a flute and a bow. Actually, you're not missing a bow anymore. Now that you have the mitts, you can go get the bow on the floating island. But you're still missing a flute.
Yep, as well as a red cane, so we're still a couple items from go mode here.
Yep. I think Oase going all the way to the back, kill Argus makes sense. Maybe not do the left side. Save that for later if you need to go back in. Oase also choosing not to do the bomb diver down strats, not having the cane. Which actually... Go ahead.
I was about to say, I don't believe we've seen either the map or the compass yet. Of course, we just did see the map.
Yeah. You know, you get back here, you haven't seen a map or a compass, you're like, come on, give me the God Swamp, and then it never happens. But yeah, to get back to that diver down play, it's not... There's a little... Oase being again, an NMG runner, in particular an all dungeons runner, the setup they use for typical speedrunners use for the diver down is a little bit different than the one that most of the randomizer runners use. They do it from the left side instead of the right, so it's not quite as similar to the bomb version. So not unusual to see just foregoing that and not even bothering with it here. This should be a very quick Argus fight.
Yeah, Oase just tearing through those puffballs.
That is very difficult. He makes it look easy, but it is not.
No, it isn't. Just bombs on Argus. Potential for Dracarys to shave a little bit of time if he feels like gambling.
Yeah, I think there's one item left on the left side. I don't think Oase goes back in. I think you go to the mountain, go get your bow and check the and get your information there. Get your hookshot cave, get your super bunny cave, find out what your turtle rock medallion. Well, you don't care. We have all the medallions, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it turns out I was wrong, though. The compass was in big chest of swamp, so there are 2 items on left side.
Oase just gonna go straight and do Ice Palace, though. This is okay call, too. I think this is... I feel like this is a call you would be more likely to make before the Icebreaker. Because not having Cane here is would not matter. But if you could get that cane on Dark Death Mountain, plus you can get your bow, which you know you need. I kind of like the idea of maybe just doing that quick search for the cane. But, you know, Oase will have no trouble doing the palm jump. It doesn't, it saves time. It does save time more in a full clear, which this will be. But still, you know, it's not like you're doing the vanilla strats that would come up if you don't know your way around this game. So, won't be too bad.
Yeah, this Ice Palace play is gutsy. There are 3 items in it plus 1 extra from the green pendant. You can get the same item density a lot faster by going Hookshot Cave plus that bow that you know you need.
Yeah, and actually that's a really good point. I completely forgot this was a pendant. So now I really don't like this play. I could definitely see doing this play after checking Dark Death Mountain if you find nothing there.
Absolutely.
And Oase hasn't checked Ped yet, so he doesn't know there's nothing there. So hopefully he doesn't get baited into finishing Desert just for Ped. Very clean bomb jump.
Now, it looks like Dracarys decides to go back in and check that left side swamp.
With 2 items, I don't blame him. I would probably leave it behind, having gotten the progression in the front. But, you know, it's still, you're right, it is still 2 items. So, you know, being a little more thorough in this situation. His hope is that his opponent doesn't do this and that he gets something good out of it.
Yeah, I think there are strong arguments to be made either way here.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm a dirty coward, so I just check it on the first go through. Unless I have a really strong reason not to.
So very interesting plays from our runners right now. Toiling around in their pendant dungeons. I just said those myths just open up so much. There's so many other things you can do. We see a heart container.
And a big 20. That's not what he wants to see. There's 1 item left.
Yep, so far 2 items. And, you know, he might get baited into finishing this just because, like I said, it is, and it's green pendant. So even if he had done the pet check, he'd probably get baited into finishing this. I didn't see what was the first item in the left side, but I'm guessing it was nothing. And another bottle. So, nope. Swamp Palace had 1 item and 1 item only. So those of you that say, and I see a few of you in chat that would have just left right after those myths, those of you that said that, you made the right call.
Yeah, and if you're Dracarys, you have to be wondering, how much time did my opponent spend in there? Did I just spend a bunch of time for nothing?
And did we already see all 3 items in Ice Palace? Because we see Oase going straight to Cold Stare.
Yeah, we have seen all 3 Ice Palace items, so he's going for that green pendant and hoping against hope that that's holding a red cane, or possibly a flute.
And Bombos Tablet we see from Dracarys has just a big 300. And he's finally going to go over to Dark Death Mountain. This is the play I wanted to see.
So unless that progression is hiding behind green pendant, this could be Dracarys pulling ahead after being a little bit behind for most of the race.
Well, it won't be Cane, because that was a key. This was a Cane-locked dungeon.
Ooh, so unless it's flute specifically.
It has to be a flute, or an ice rod. We do need an ice rod.
Oh, fair point.
But yeah, that's not what you want to see on Cold Stare when you're trying to find, when one of your items is a cane. And there's some half magic there for Dracarys, which is a nice luxury item. Definitely not needed, but, you know, make things a little safer.
Yeah, with 4 bottles, and I think he's still got that blue goo in his back pocket.
Yep. Like, you're not going to turn that down, but, you know, it's definitely not what you're looking for. Okay, Hookshot Cave, what do you got for us? Piece of heart so far. And rupees. And another heart container. And
Yep,
another
it's
heart
just
container.
that bow.
But they do need the bow, so they're going to get that. Suppose you could just go do Pod Eastern right away. Just clear those out.
Yeah, those are both crystals that you know you're going to need. They're easy to route right together.
And I mean, I guess silver arrows could make them a little bit faster, but I don't think waiting for those is worth it. There's really nothing else that's going to make those dungeons faster.
No, that Armos fight takes a lot of regular arrows, but it's scripted. It's pretty fast.
For these guys, yeah. So with that Ice Palace play, that puts Dracarys a little bit in the lead now, pending that green pendant turn in. So a nice thing for Oase, he's going to get that bow. He'll be able to turn that green pendant in on his way over to... Oh, wait. What are we doing in Dracarys? Oh, no. He's just... Oh, and again, unless that green pendant is something, he's going to give all that time back.
I do not understand this play.
I don't understand this at all.
You spent the time to go get the bow. You know there's an item behind Armos. I wasn't counting in Pod. I'm not sure if there's anything behind Helma, but...
Yeah, I didn't like the Ice Palace play from Oase. I don't like the Ice Palace play from Dracarys. Now,
at best, if there's progression behind the green pendant, this saves a little bit of time.
Yeah,
but not that much.
Turned it on the way. And we're gonna find out whether that green pendant gives us anything or not. I mean, if after you do Pod Eastern, you're down to pretty much Ice Palace and Smith Chain, I could see the argument for doing Ice Palace instead of Smith Chain. Although less so without the Canis and Mario. I mean, Smith Chain without the flute is a bit annoying, but you've checked everything else. So you can just, you know, do the hammer pegs, turn in the Smith, save and quit with the purple chest, and just walk over to turn that in.
And that's just a big 20 in exchange for that green pendant.
So Ice Palace, just a big waste of time.
The only thing I can think is that both of these runners feel behind and feel like they have to make some gambles in order to make up time.
And we've checked the rest of this area, so we'll just go straight back to Helmasaur. And Oase not bothering to pick up the hearts under the pots there because it won't get him sword beams. So not going to save him time there, so probably not worth. Now, sword beams will save you a menu. And I don't think we've seen any quick swap from Oase yet, so it definitely would save him a menu. Meanwhile, we see Dracarys using quick swap all over the place.
It's definitely a different skill set.
Oh, for sure. I still can't get used to it.
I'm getting there, but you hear about it on paper and you think, wow, I'm never menuing again. This is great. And then you realize, no, you have to know what you're doing with it.
Yep, you absolutely do. And some people really do. You know, we get some of the cross keys runners that have been using it for years. Okay, this will be an easy Helma fight once we get past this first round.
Yep, not much that makes that first round any quicker, but 2 butter sword swipes to take down the last phase. No fireballs to worry about, no tail swipes, just whip and you're done.
And unfortunately it was the map, so no more items in pod. But we'll find out what's behind Armos Knights in just a second.
Dracarys making short work of Cold Stare. One of those little puffs gets out of the corner and he smacks it with the fire rod.
Yeah, that half magic's nice for that fight. If you can keep them in the corner, then you don't need it. You get that, especially with that gold sword. But once they get loose like that, very nice to just pull out that fire rod and just be done.
Oase says, I don't have time to dodge cannonballs. I've got 14 hearts and red mail.
Yeah.
Get out of my face. I want to fight the
Exactly.
Armos Knights.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna go. Yeah, I like the way these guys have routed this. Go into the dark world, mirror for the green pendant turn in, and then do. At that point, it doesn't matter whether you do pot or Eastern first. I think it's probably one less mirror. Because you can just, and then you save and quit. Yeah, if you do pod first, you can save and quit out of the light world. Since with mirror and Aga killed, you'll end up on that pyramid if you save and quit from the dark world.
And unless we have progression on these Armos Knights, we're looking at Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb and Smith Chain. Or Landmos.
And Landmo with that one item.
Yep.
So which do you do first?
I think at that point I hit up Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb and then take that into Smith Chain. I think I leave Landmos for last.
Oh, for sure Landmo last. I think I might do Smith Chain first, but yeah, it's you know, of those, it's pretty close. How did we even get there? I didn't even see.
I missed it as well.
Chat with the knowledge, big 50, so not helping us any. So save and quit to Sank, this is the way you'd go for either Smith Chain or the... He actually might just do King's Tomb right here. Of course, this completely orphans the Graveyard Ledge check.
Yeah, I think you can definitely make an argument for this play, though.
You can, absolutely.
After doing all of Ice Palace, and there's our flute!
Well, that's a thing, at least. That gets us the Mire axis, so now activate that flute, go to Mire. At least check the area, see if the cane's sitting there. I don't know that I go in without a cane. I mean, cane can absolutely be in there. But there's only 2 items. There's so many dungeon items there. You know, all those keys that you just don't need for that dungeon. And they're spread out so far out of the way.
Absolutely. I think that's the big decision point is if you've checked that Mire Shed and you've checked Checkerboard and you're still caneless, do you go into Mire at that point or do you say screw it, come back and do Smith Chain first?
And with all the medallions in tow, this is actually even a less valuable check because you don't have to worry about those. You know you're gonna be able to open up and get in. He's not even gonna look. Like he knows he can get in. Doesn't even bother looking. Wrong red thing. Another wrong red thing.
Yeah, Chet brings up a good point. Now that you're already in this area, there is an argument for going ahead and doing Landmos.
You know, there really is. We'll see what he decides to do. In fact, looks like that's what he's gonna do that before Checkerboard Cave. That I don't agree with.
Well, you're still 2 items from go mode, so this is if you're committed to checking both, this is a slightly more efficient way to do it.
Yeah, I think I would check Checkerboard, hoping to get that cane. And then if it's not cane, I go into Desert. And if it is cane, I go into Mire, and then maybe I don't have to ever do Desert.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Now keep in mind, this is his 3rd pendant. He has not checked Ped, so you may just blind pull that if we don't see the progression item here.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair play before doing Smith Chain, at least. You're right in that area before picking up Jeremiah, and you want to know, Hail Mary, was that Ice Palace play worth it? Of course, we know it wasn't.
Yep. Even more interesting is we could see an Ice Rod here. That could be really bad if Dracarys doesn't get here soon. Although ideally you want to see the Ice Rod before the cane to keep you out of Turtle Rock for the Ice Rod dip.
And there's the cane.
There we go.
So there you go. I think you're right. I think you do Mire at this point.
Oh, you absolutely do Mire. I mean, you might check Checkerboard Cave, then Mire. Just to
yeah.
See but you could check it after. I don't know which is faster.
Yeah, I think the only argument for doing Checkerboard first is if you get Ice Rod and you know you can go mode Mire, that could definitely save you some time.
Yeah, I think that's the argument. I think that's what Oase's thinking right now.
But it's just some cash that nobody needs.
So then becomes the interesting question is after you're done with Mire, do you go straight to Turtle Rock and hope to find your Ice Rod in Turtle Rock? Or do you do Smith Chain first? Reminder that because we've killed Aga, there's no portal saving here.
I think with Flute, Boots, Mirror, that's the quickest Smith Chain you're gonna have. There's an argument for doing that before Turtle Rock. On the other hand, both of these runners have to be feeling behind. There's also an argument for gambling and just beelining Turtle Rock and hoping. And
Dracarys is going to take a different tact. I think he's going to combine the Graveyard Ledge with the King's Tomb. We know King's Tomb is nothing. We have not seen Graveyard Ledge. If this is an Ice Rod, that's going to be pretty big for him.
Actually, wasn't, I believe King's Tomb was Flute.
Oh, that's a good point. He does need that flute, but he is going to, like I said, though, if the Ice Rod's sitting there on that Graveyard Ledge, though, because he is set up to check both.
Yeah, that's a huge find. If that's the case, because Oase skipped it, and that's an easy last location compared to everything else he's got in front of him.
Yeah, I can see the argument for checking Smiths before going into Turtle Rock. I can't see going Graveyard Ledge before going into Turtle Rock.
No, not when you've already intentionally orphaned it once. And it is the Ice Rod.
Oh, wow. We have a race.
We do have a race. Both of our runners, one different item from Go Mode. We, the commentators and the audience, in No Mode.
I mean, Dracarys might still do Smith Chain before heading over to the Mire area or heading and doing Landmo. But there's a good chance Oase, he's going to last location that Ice Rod. I can't see any world where he doesn't.
And Dracarys, having checked the pedestal, knowing that's nothing, has less of an incentive to go in and do that Landmo fight.
Yeah, absolutely, and that might keep him away from that cane. He might dip Mire without.
Very much anybody's race here, just entirely depending on decision making.
Now let's see what decisions Dracarys makes here. He's gonna check Mire Shed first. By the way, nobody even paid attention to what the medallion requirement was for Mara, because it just didn't matter. We have all the medallions.
Absolutely.
But the nice thing, no matter what for Dracarys, he's not going to have to full clear Mire, no matter what. Because, no, wait, that's not true. If he goes in without the cane, he will be full clearing the front. If he does manage to go into desert first. Moment of truth with Dracarys right here. What's he gonna do?
Oh, it looks like he's going into mire.
Oh. And it is bombos for what it's worth.
Even with this play.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even with this play, it's very possible, if not probable, that Oase goes into Turtle Rock looking for that ice rod. So even with this, if Dracarys does Landmos after his mire check, he may still be in the lead.
Yeah, Dracarys, the one ace in the hole Dracarys really has right now is he's not going to be going into Turtle Rock. He will, when he goes into Turtle Rock, he will have everything he needs. That's the one nice thing about not finding that cane. I didn't see where the big key was. It looks like it was pretty early on Owase's side, so that's not going to save him any. If the big key had been in a bad spot and Oase had to spend a ton of time finding the big key, then this is a bit more of a wash here. Yeah, chat telling us the big key was in the lobby, so not the best big key location, but not the worst either. Oase with a very nice spooky action. And Oase just going to use NMG strats without even bothering to pull out that cape. The gold sword very quick. Dracarys will get his 2 items, his 2 nothing items, and mirror out of here, and then he'll have just decision time. So let's see, what is Oase gonna do? Okay, not gonna commit to the Turtle Rock play. So I think this will be Smith's. Oh, this is going to be the ped pull first.
Yeah.
He's going to be very disappointed with what he gets out of this. And I do believe Oase still hasn't even checked Zora. So. Interesting, he decided to just. I mean, it's a little quicker to read it from the book if it's nothing. So he saves a little bit of time there.
And it looks like he's heading towards Turtle Rock.
Yeah, this
leaving
is unfortunate.
That Smith chain behind.
I don't blame him. It's not a bad call. We've seen enough ice rods already this week in the first week in Turtle Rock, but it's just not. We know it's not going to work out for him.
Yeah. And honestly, I really don't know that it matters what order he does the rest of this seed in.
Yeah. I think this might seal his fate because Dracarys has fewer checks. He can't get caught into Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Looks like he's not okay. Not gonna do desert, but he'll finish Smith Chain before. And I think that's all he's got is Smith Chain. So he's gonna finish Smith Chain before. Probably before Oase gets to Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
And then he'll just know it's got to be desert.
Yeah, and even at that point, he will likely be a Smith chain ahead unless Oase makes just an unprecedented play and does Graveyard Ledge before Smith chain, but I don't think that's super likely.
And try to think if there's anything. There's only one useful thing left. I mean, we might find silvers on this.
Yeah, we've got all the mails, all the sword upgrades, all the bottles even.
I mean, I guess Blue Cane could show up, but you know, with Cape, that's a big who cares. Even without Cape, that's a big who cares at this point. And we see a red boomerang, which Dracarys says, I've got a blue one, I don't care about that. Oh,
and that's why you don't swing your sword at those.
Exactly what I was thinking.
You've got red mail, you've got 14 hearts, just take the hit, it's fine.
We do see the bat check, so it was 4 items in this Smith chain for Dracarys. We know this is nothing, though.
And as we watch our 2 runners going through their various dead-end checks, now seems like a good time to remind everybody watching to go ahead and give them a follow. They are putting on a fantastic show for us here today, putting themselves out there for your entertainment. Big thanks also to our restreaming and tracking team, the unsung heroes that make all of this possible.
Yeah, and Relkin doing the tracking. Oh, can't say enough about trackers. Like, I'm bad at tracking. Freeing us up to be able to just talk about the game and letting them take care of the hard work behind the scenes. And Dracarys, having found nothing in the Smith chain, now knows pretty much that cane has to be sitting there on land mode. I don't believe he's got anything else to check. He's going to feel really far behind, but little does he know that his opponent is on an even bigger wild goose chase here.
Yep, that's the thing about this game. You build it up in your head. You know every mistake you've made, and so you imagine you're running against somebody who's doing some mythical perfect run.
Yeah, so true. Oh god, it's a mushroom. Oh, that is so bad. That's the last thing you want to find there. It's a shame that's not going to get him to mirror out to check that and maybe check other things, but it's not a play I would make. Dracarys going to make very quick work of Landmo here.
6 quick fire rod shots, 2 per worm. And Dracarys enters go mode at 1 hour, 32 minutes and change.
And we end up with a nice oops all dungeon seed. Because we did all the dungeons, both runners. So, fitting, you know, first race of the second week after we did all dungeons officially last week. Now we just do all dungeons because why not? And there's a blue cane sitting there in Mimic Cave, so. And that's a big who cares because A, we have Cape, and B, you don't really need it at this point.
Dracarys absolutely tearing through Mire 2, making full use of Fire Rod and Sword Beams, wasting no time getting to those big eyeballs.
Meanwhile, Oase gonna get to Laser Bridge soon. We'll see if there's at least a Silver Arrows consolation prize for him. And there is not. This last one will be the key he's missing, and that'll kick him out of Turtle Rock. He won't be able to save that portal.
Meanwhile, Dracarys heading into his Vitreous fight with red mail, gold sword, cape if he chooses to use it, which it looks like he is setting that up.
Yeah, he is. He never picked up the gold sword, so it'll be a little bit slower, but I mean, he's just gonna run through with this cape.
Yeah.
It's a very safe fight this way. I'm gonna say I like the call here. Well, he was low on arrows, so I like that he did some sword slashes there. Oase turning in that mushroom for arrows. And in fact, Dracarys is gonna have to keep an eye on that arrow count in case he has to do Ice Armos in GT. I'm not sure. There are a few places, I believe, in Turtle Rock where you can pick up some arrow pots. So if he knows those, that'll help him out.
Yes, indeed. There are also a couple of arrow drops immediately before Ice Armos, so he should be all right.
Oh, is this the Hera basement play for... Where is Oase going? The Hera basement play before doing Smiths? Oh my god. I completely forgot he skipped that.
Chat pointing out Owase's doing the checks that would enable him to save the portal.
Yeah, that's true. If he stays in the light world, that's the only way he can save the portal. But unfortunately, this is the only one, I think.
Yeah, after turning in that mushroom, which he just did.
Yes, Chad also pointing out, I believe that is correct, that Oase does still have Zora to check as well. And Dracarys pulling out that ether, opening up Turtle Rock. He'll be able to go mode this. Now, go mode Turtle Rock, you know, not significantly faster than a regular, just full clear Turtle Rock. So he doesn't gain that much time, but yeah, at this point, he's ahead.
Yeah, he'll be able to skip steal a key, I believe, from Lava Chest. He'll be able to skip Mimic Room.
Yeah, Big Key was not in Lava Chest, and there is a key on Laser Bridge. So if he wants to do he doesn't have it. There's no risk. He doesn't know it, but there's no risk of the 4.5% troll where you have the small keys in the big chest in the Lava Chest. And now I think we're going to see the Smith chain from Oase, which we know has nothing on it. Oase also seeing that red boomerang also decides not worth. Interesting they didn't pick up the smith before doing the hammer pegs, but I guess his thought process is if it's at hammer pegs, then I don't have to turn in the smith. Unfortunately, it was not. And he's going to have to grab the smith here. Nice chain chomps from Dracarys there.
Dracarys clearly...
There it is. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Picking up those extra arrow pots. So he's well aware of his arrow deficiency.
Absolutely. Although bypassing
more,
a...
Yeah, I was going to say, I think there's more over there. I would totally pick those. Those are even easier. But, you know.
Yeah, that center skull has another 5-stack.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be fine either way, but...
There are quite a few left for him in GT, so if he has to get if he doesn't have to do the ice harmos, it's not even an issue.
Yeah, there could even be 10 stacks in chests in GT for all he knows, so...
Or silvers might show up before the big key. That's a possibility too. Oase using the, rather new. Well, I guess it's not that new anymore, but the glitch where you can just leave the purple chest behind and mirror here and get the item. And he is now left with Graveyard Ledge. Oh, he's got Bombo's tablet. He hasn't done that yet. I mean, this last location is pretty much as last location he gets. It definitely feels bad for Oase.
Yeah, you were feeling like you were already behind, and at this point, you're eyeing that racetime.gg window, just waiting for it to be over.
Okay, we're gonna get the Graveyard Ledge checked now because he's headed back into the Dark World.
At this point, Oase is almost exactly a dungeon behind. Not impossible for him to catch up, but certainly not easy.
Well, at this point, Dracarys would have to make some huge mistakes.
Yeah. Dracarys would have to make some mistakes. It would... GT big key placement could play a factor, but absolutely everything would have to go Oase's way.
And there it is for Oase. Picks up his Ice Rod. Kara's finishing up Trinex, which means we'll be heading into GT soon. What does that mean for us?
Well, we've got a little game that we like to play around these parts. There's exactly one more item that we need to find, and that's the GT Big Key. There are 22 locations that it can be in, counting in the order that Dracarys checks them. I always bet number 2. Do you have a favorite bet?
I like 5. Makes it pretty easy for the runners, not too easy for the runners. Let's see which way Dracarys goes first. Gonna go to the left side first, so we might see some Dark Magician strats here. And we'll see number 2 is bombs. Number 3 is a bug net. 4 is a small key. 5 is rupees, and we are going to mirror out and go check the right side.
I like the Dark Magician play here. It's slightly out of the ordinary, but nothing crazy like checking tile room first.
Yeah, 6 and 7 small key and rupees. Yeah, and especially with that arrow count, trying to avoid going to those ice armos would definitely be in his favor. Eight is piece of heart. 9, a heart container. 10 arrows. 11 is 10 arrows. So we're fine on arrows now. So if nothing else, we got that taken care of.
Absolutely, and with 3 keys in his back pocket. Probably feeling pinched for time, although we know he's quite safe. Dracarys says, nuts to that key under the skull. I'm going back left.
Twelve is just bombs.
Oase heading into his Trinex fight at this point.
$13 is just bombs. $14 shield, 15 compass, 16 silver arrows. There we go. 17 piece of heart.
Oase finishing up a very quick Trinex fight. That NMG muscle memory coming in handy.
Small key, and we will fight the ice armos, but now I'll be very quick with those silver arrows. $19 is heart container, 20 is the big key, and mirroring out. For a moment there, we almost had that situation where if it'd been tile room and Oase had gone straight to tile room, we might have had a race again. But unfortunately for Oase, that's not what turned out.
Yep, as it is, Oase begins his own big key hunt just as Dracarys heads into the gauntlet.
And that arrow count, which was a little bit of a concern for Dracarys earlier, no worries now. He's got 20 arrows and they're silver, so not going to be even remotely an issue. Oase can save a little bit of time if he does go full right here, but I don't see that happening. He'd also miss those silvers, which is not that big a deal.
Oase showing off those fun red cane punt strats.
Yeah, I always love the way that looks. It's just so funny. It really looks like you're kicking that block over.
And Oase opts not to go full right, pulls out the mirror, and heads left.
Yeah, full right is so rarely the answer. Unfortunately for him, it would have worked out a little better, but it wouldn't have been enough for him to catch up. And at this point, it really would have been needed to be tile room with him Galaxy breaking that tile room check. It would have been his only chance. Oh, Dracarys missing that last silver arrow on the Landmo 2 fight. But cleans it up in the second round. And we get to everybody's favorite red cane strats in those Wizard runes.
Always satisfying. It's one of those lovely things that looks impressive and is way easier.
I know the first time I ever saw that strat, I'm like, what have I been doing with this red cane before? Because that looks so cool, and it doesn't even look that hard, especially that first room.
Yeah, the second one requires a little bit of knowledge. That first
Yes.
one's just free.
Yep. Dracarys is going to have to grab the magic pot here. Or not. I guess if he uses a lamp, he can get a... Yeah, he's fine with the lamp. And just do one fire rod shot. Actually, I kind of like that optimization. Just do it that way. And don't worry, especially with the quick swap, you can get over there really quickly on the menu. And you'll get a full magic refill in this room.
Making some good use of the hook shot to get around there.
Yeah, no surprise. There's nothing left for him to look for. I mean, he knows where that last sword is. There's absolutely nothing for him to grab. So not going to check any of these chests.
Makes quick work of Moldorm 2, and on to everyone's favorite geometry wizard.
I think that only counted for one, but I'm not sure.
I suspect you're right.
Those balls hit Aga 2 at the same time. You only get one shot in there.
It's not allowed. Enemies aren't allowed to get iframes. Those are my iframes.
I know, right?
Oase with a very quick Silver Arrow-powered Armos fight. About to find his big key and start his own climb. As Dracarys summons the Dark World Duck.
Be a pretty easy fight with that tempered sword and those silver arrows. Not as easy as if he had picked up the gold sword, but, you know, the gold sword was just enough out of the way he decided not to pick it up. So far, a really nice start on this with these sword spins. And it's just going to use the cape. He's still got a bottle of blue in there, plus the half magic, so...
Yeah, not much to worry about in this fight at all.
Not to mention a bazillion hearts. I mean, we've had 18 heart containers.
Yep, yeah, he's tanked a couple of hits. He doesn't care. He knows he is perfectly safe to just wait in there.
He's gonna go for the free... Oh, we might get a triple out of this.
Yeah, that was a beautiful
that
triple.
Was beautiful.
Excellent
you don't see
pig fight.
the free triple that often. Very nicely done.
There is but one obstacle between Dracarys and victory. Can he defeat the Almighty Bridge? He does! Get your GGs in chat for Dracarys.
Finishing up with a 153.26 on race time. GGs to Dracarys. Very nicely done. And he's probably in shock. I mean, with you know, with his money checks, you know, the full clear ice palace for nothing. Yeah, it was just...
I believe he also did the full swamp, including left side.
Right, yep, full swamp. Yeah, he did. Right, Oase never even did left side swamp, so he didn't quite last location that ice rod. And we do have Dracarys in the booth with us. GG's Dracarys.
GG's, what a seed.
Yeah, so I don't know how much you caught at the end, but for you, you found the ice rod in a bad spot, where Oase found the cane in a bad spot. And that just led Oase on a wild goose chase before he got that ice rod. So, always want to find the cane before the ice rod, I guess, is the moral of the story.
Yeah, ice rod is probably the worst combo item in that case.
It's bad. But yeah, so how you feeling after that one? I mean, I know your team went 1-1 last week, so this is... And you weren't on the winning team, so now you got yourself a win in your pocket. How does that feel?
Yay, finally! I was thinking I might just go without a win through this entire season because I was on a big losing streak this weekend, but I think it might be over, hopefully.
Well, the streak's over for sure, because you just won.
Yeah, but I might still just lose all the other ones, who knows?
Ah, come on. Meanwhile, Oase about to do his Aga 2 fight. Pay attention as Oase finishes his out.
Ooh, very nice triple there. Oase with everything you could possibly want to make again and fight easy.
Yeah, actually, question for you, Dracarys. So you had that gold source sitting there after Tower of Hera. Oase decided to pick it up. You decided to forego it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's not worth it to jump into the portal and then mirror again just to pick up a gold sword. I have tempered sword, that's good enough.
That's fair. I think it's one of those things, it's kind of runner's preference. Very nice phase 2 there from Oase.
Showing this pig no respect, dodging his bats like they're not even there.
It doesn't quite get the same nice triple pattern. It does get a double, though.
And a very nice, perfectly timed torch glitch with that fire rod.
Still a very nice Ganon fight from Oase finishing up.
And Oase crosses the bridge, coming in second place with an official race time, .gg time of 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 55 seconds.
Yeah, GG's to Oase.
So I'm curious, Dracarys, about your thought process as you went into Ice Palace.
It was mostly... Okay, I want to do Pot and Eastern next, because they are crystals, I need to get the crystal out of there. I know that Eastern Palace only has one single item, and after that, I'm down to Ice Palace and a couple of overworld checks again. So I probably want to do Ice Palace after Pot and Eastern anyway. So let's just do it first, so I can turn the Green Pendant in on the way. And yeah, it turned out to be nothing, of course, but...
Yeah, you both did it, though, so it evened out. It turned out Desert just had everything for you with that Moon Pearl, because that was rough on you, because you ended up doing Aga without the Moon Pearl. Turned out it was required, but
I mean, at the
we
point
had
of
to leave.
Hyrule Castle, I had no glove, no hammer, no
Yep.
pearl,
Yep.
and only like 3 or 4 spots left in the library. And I was like, yeah, this is 100% required. Let's just kill it without the pearl and grab the pearl afterwards. It's fine.
Yeah, from the position you were in, that made a lot of sense. Oase actually did the escape right away. He went to Uncle, got his sword, and did the front of escape. So for him, he ended up going over to Desert, getting that Moon Pearl ahead of time.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I mean, it was one of those situations where once you got done with Aga, like, what were you going to do? You only could go to Pod. That was it. That was all that was there.
And Pod pretty much opened up the seat, and I chose the wrong direction at the start, because I did Death Mountain first, got nothing, and then I got the hammer and Outcast, and had to climb the mountain again to get the mirror.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of those decisions were similar on Owase's side.
Yeah, for the longest time in the middle of the race, you guys were following along the same path with you just a couple screens, eventually about half a dungeon behind Oase, but it was ultimately those go mode items that decided it.
Yeah, when basically, the fact that you decided to pair up that King's Tomb with the Graveyard Ledge just made a huge difference. And, Oase doing the desert check earlier, part of that, he didn't check Ped and you did. So I'm wondering if that kind of kept you away from desert, and why you probably just didn't get to that cane until the end.
It was mostly... I got the flute so late that I never wanted to go back to the desert with the book. And when I got the flute, that was Kane for going with it. I'm like, okay, let's just check Mire Shed and check aboard Cave, and then go into Mire and hope Kane's in Mire.
Yep.
And then I was done with Mire. I'm like, okay, I have Smith Chain and Landmo left. Let's just get Smith Chain done with and then kill Landmo.
Yep. Yeah, that Graveyard Ledge really paying off for you, because like I said, with Oase, he checked the King's Tomb from the Light World, completely orphaning that Graveyard Ledge. Okay, so as a League thing in general, what modes are you up for playing, or have that's been decided, and what are you looking forward to?
Not exactly sure yet which modes I'm gonna play, but I want to play Randomizer week, I want to play 80 Keys week, and I want to play Mystery week, and the rest is pretty much undecided.
Cool. Any one of those a particular favorite?
Randomizer, because it's against Jareen's team. That's gonna be fun.
I'm not a big fan of playing Randomizer, but I am looking forward to the co-op Randomizer. I think that's going to be real fun to watch.
Especially with Boss Shuffle, just one more piece of information to trade between partners.
Exactly. Yeah, and as another runner I interviewed said, good luck explaining some of the enemy layouts to your partner.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun week.
But yeah, shout outs to the organizers for getting a couple of co-ops in here this week, or this league, because I think those are, like, when you're having it in a team setup, it's just really neat to have more team play, I think.
Absolutely. As you look ahead at the next 4 weeks of competition, is there a particular team that you're eyeing? Like, these are the guys to watch. These are the guys that I need to get my strats on point before I face up against them.
I would say every team, to be honest. I think our group is pretty strong, and we can win and lose against every team. So it's not a particular thing I'm focusing on, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good teams in this invitational, hence Invitational. So, yeah, it's been a blast. First week has been so much fun watching and commentating. Hope all the runners, including yourself, are having fun too. Just this such a great season, such a great event that we're having here. All right, I'll let you add anything else you'd like, Dracarys, and then we'll start closing things out.
Well, thanks for the restream and the commentary and the tracking, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.
All right. Thank you, Dracarys, and also GG's to Oase for a great run from him. We do have a lot more races. Actually, not a lot more, but we do have 2 more races that you all can tune in for. They're all on the Speed Gaming channels. At 4:10, we have Forfeiters Are Us versus Old Swagga Jackson, Dataplet versus Walter. And then at 6:10, we have the 2019 Titans Myths of 2019 versus We Are the Imposters. That'll be Dante versus Waterloo, and those will all both be on the Speed Gaming Network. So do make sure you tune into those. A whole lot of matches going on tomorrow. I'm not going to read them all off, but those starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll have matches going on Tuesday. So definitely look out for on the schedule for those.
Absolutely. And if even that is not enough Randomizer League action for you, the Open League also streams many of their races. And we do have one right here on Speed Gaming 1 coming up tonight at 8:10 Eastern between Boomer Friendly and Whirlpool Head for Food.
All right. And so wanted big shout outs to everybody involved. So thank you, Ben, for joining me on commentary. It was a blast. Shout outs to Relkin for doing the tracking. And of course, all the folks at Speed Gaming behind the scenes setting things up, and of course the organizers of the league. And I'll let you close us out.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and stay tuned for even more great Randomizer League action for the next 5 straight weeks. Good night, everybody.